me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Meghann, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer. We are at your house.
Mm-hmm.
We have a different dog energy.
Yes, and there's just different energy all around.
Oh.
No, nothing spooky. It's just 4th of July. It's actually the 3rd of July, but people are acting like it's the 4th of July, so there's fireworks going off. I think my child's still awake. The dog is chewing on things.
Your dog's still awake, and this is way later than we normally start recording.
You said my dog is still awake.
No, I meant child.
Yeah, my child and my dog.
They're both.
Yeah, he's pumped. He's super excited that tomorrow we're going to get a bouncy water slide for the day, and it's 4th of July fireworks.
Yeah,
So.
I'm not going to be able to sleep either.
Yeah.
That's why
I am.
Thought it'd be okay to do this at 11:43. That's what time it is right now.
Oh my gosh, Erin, I cannot believe we're doing it this late. We are wild women. And I'm hosting a party tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm
coming to it. I'm going to make the best looking macaroni and cheese I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh, I'm excited about that.
I'm real pumped about it. If it's as good as it looks, I will share that recipe.
Oh my gosh. I
probably drunk at a bar while singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Erin, that was the highlight of my week.
Oh, I forgot that it happened until the next night. I was like, why do I have likes on here? Oh, wow, I did that.
You were so passionate about that cold glass of milk with tuna noodle casserole.
As sober as I am right now, which isn't really that sober. We went to a baseball game and I had 2 beers there and I'm on my 3rd now. But yeah, I'm still very passionate about that.
Yeah.
If you don't like tuna noodle casserole,
I hate it.
Maybe it's because you have not had a cold glass of milk to drink with, to drink it down with.
No, I am sure that I have because that was Mom's favorite meal to make because it was your favorite meal to eat.
Yeah, and I was her favorite.
And we always had to drink milk. And no, you weren't. Hold on. Wait, go back. Sorry, that just registered. No. Everybody here knows who the favorite was. But anyway, no, that...
growing up, you were not the favorite. Yeah, I was the favorite growing up.
Okay, fine. You were the favorite. Anyway, I'll give you that. You were the baby, the peacekeeper. Yeah, I was the trouble one.
And the peas keeper because of tuna noodle casserole. It's got peas.
You're such a dork. Anyway, Mom, but our parents used to make us drink milk every single dinner. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
It's water in my house.
Yeah, it's mostly water in my house. But every couple of meals, I'm like, ooh, got to have milk with this one.
Never. We never do milk. We do milk for breakfast, but I don't make it. Like, never do they have to drink milk.
Yeah.
I'm kind of anti-milk.
Yeah, I think you probably should be. I don't ever make my kids drink milk either.
Yeah.
I've got tuna noodle casserole. Everybody just chooses milk because it's so good.
So gross. The thought of tuna fish and milk.
So good.
And then you even put milk in the tuna fish.
Just a little bit.
That's so gross. Anyway.
And sauerkraut mashed potatoes. You got to have milk with that.
Again, not one of my favorite meals.
It cuts the sourness of it. You're like, oh, no, milk calms it down.
Yep. You and I had very different childhoods. I hated both those meals.
We had very similar childhoods. We just had different opinions.
Oh, we definitely had different opinions.
That'll be our next podcast. We'll just talk about the foods I love, the foods you hate, and then we'll swap.
Oh, we could definitely talk all night about the foods that Mom gave us. But yeah, well, you just got really passionate about that at that bar. I mean, that's like when Erin and I go out, this is how wild and crazy we get. We talk about tuna noodle casserole. She gets really passionate about that glass of milk to the point that I was like, we've got to record this.
Yeah. I really don't remember that phone coming out.
Oh, I could not get it out fast enough. I was like,
that's what he said.
Oh, poor woman or man, whoever's on the other end of that.
Yeah, well, that's
couldn't get it out.
Oh, get it out
of their pants.
Get it out.
Not like get it out of them. No. I was like, why?
That's pretty
so sad.
No, he was ready. He was excited.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's much better. That's a much more positive spin on that.
He got it out with consent.
Of course.
This hypothetical.
Wow, the places we could take tuna noodle casserole. Also, tuna noodle casserole is so hard to say. I always say tuna noodle. Tuna noodle casserole.
I always say tuna noodle.
Tuna noodle casserole. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, here we are again talking about
riveting.
I'm telling you, it's a never-ending entertainment.
I don't know why thousands. I don't know why they're not coming in the droves.
Where are our sponsors? Where's Big Tuna?
We need Big Tuna. We're going to reach out to them after this after this episode.
Oh, no, you talked about how much you hate it.
But
wait a minute.
A lot of people love it.
Try it again with your milk, and then we'll just have to. Oh, you did say you had that growing up. Never mind.
Yes, I was forced to eat it every meal growing up. No, thank you, Big Tuna. You know what? Keep your sponsorship. I'm out.
No, I'm here for it, Tuna.
Yeah, that's all up to Aaron. So
anyway.
Yeah, moving on from tuna noodle casserole. Jen, well, what else you got?
I had a friend call today.
Okay.
Your friend too. I'm going to tell you her name, and then Rue's going to beep it out, and then we're going to call her Samantha for the rest of this.
Okay.
Do we have a Samantha that we talked to about?
We do have a Samantha on here. How about we call her Betty? Betty White?
Yep, Betty works. Okay. It's actually... So from this point on, we're calling her Betty. Betty called me today.
Okay. What's Betty up to?
Well, it's really random. I don't think Betty's ever called me before.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what's up? She called to tell me that she's got a little ghost story.
Oh.
And normally I'm like, write that in. But I've been trying to get her to write in every one of her stories because she has a billion of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But that woman is the most busy woman I've ever met in my life. So she's like, it's never going to happen.
It's like either you're going to listen to this and take it or that's it.
So she told me the story today. She said it just happened to her. She had to call me. She was like, I knew nobody else would believe me. I called you.
She knew who to call.
I know. And I was like, can I tell it if we record tonight? She's like, oh, yeah, I don't care.
Oh, great. So you're going to tell us
I'm going to tell it right now. So it's like a pre-story story because I'm not going to read it. It's from my memory of what she told me.
Awesome. It's like a little teaser.
That's right. So the first time I met her, like, in a social environment, because she's a teacher with me. But the first time I met her at like an office party, somehow we started talking about ghosts, and she's like, oh, I definitely believe in ghosts. And then told me the wildest stories I've ever heard. That like her and her family went to, or maybe friends went to this house, and they all had this big vibe. And they're like, oh my gosh, past lives are coming out. And then they like went on a deep dive, and everybody talked about their past life. I'm like, I don't know.
They just had the experience right there?
When they were there, they all felt big feelings.
About their past lives, about how they used to.
And like some of them were like intertwined. I don't know. All I know is I would love to hang out with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Me too, for different reasons.
It's also been a few years since I've heard that story. Okay. So I could be butchering it, but all I know is she's got some stories.
Okay.
She's very spiritual.
Yes, I did know that about her.
So she is selling her house currently.
Right.
And about to close on her new house this Thursday.
Well, congratulations, Betty.
I know. Well, the family or like the couple who lived there before were older and passed. And so their friend's daughter is handling all the estates.
Okay.
So in the meantime, they're trying to sell all this stuff because one of the men was a artist.
Okay.
And so they've got all kinds of stuff that maybe... To be nicer than saying hoarder, we might say collector.
Okay.
There's
a collector,
like really cool things.
Just a lot of
but a lot. There's so much. So this the daughter is trying to sell a bunch of the stuff, like estate sales, and she's got all these things lined up. In the meantime, Betty is trying to she needs to get in there because she's trying to get some stuff worked out, and there's going to be a lot of work that needs to get done. And the daughter was like, "You can come in before. That's fine. Just like try not to." Mess with the stuff that I'm trying to get out.
Just don't step on the art. Yeah.
Right. And she's like, oh, that's amazing. Thank you. That'll be a big help. Well, she said the other day she went over and she was walking around and she was walking downstairs and she tripped.
Oh.
And she thought it was not really on her. She didn't feel like she tripped, but like something made her trip. But she was like, well, maybe it's just in my head. So she like threw it off, like, brush it off. Mm-hmm. I just tripped. Mm-hmm. I'm going to move on. But she was like, I also kind of had a feeling in the house. So I thought, well, just keep that in my mind. I'm going to keep going. And yet
she's still going through with buying this house.
I know. She's already close. Well, she's already in too deep, I think. But she loves the house. I don't know. So anyways, today she was doing something outside and she was up on a ladder. Or maybe she was inside. I don't know. She was on a ladder.
Okay, when you tell Aaron a story, it's kind of like when you tell Aaron directions.
This is why you should write it.
Yeah, it's not. The only reason why is because of our ADHD. Both of us were like, what kind of tuna? When you cannot give Erin directions somewhere.
No.
She'll listen to the first sentence and then you see her eyes glaze over and she just gives up.
I can't. You cannot focus on directions. Every time Meghann has to give them, she's like, "Are you still listening?" I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, but no, she's not.
She'll be like, "Repeat that." Oh, okay. Say it one more time. I will listen.
I'm like, I'm just going to find the address and GPS it.
I know. I'm not good at it. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So anyway, she's on a ladder somewhere, outside, inside, somewhere in the house.
Somewhere near the house.
Okay.
She's on a ladder.
Okay.
And she said, "I didn't fall. I got pushed from my shoulders."
What?
Pushed.
Like pushed back?
Pushed back. Fell off a ladder.
Oh my gosh.
She's okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, wait, that should have been my first question. I was just like, I can already debunk this. Man, I'm getting really insensitive.
She got pushed off a ladder, Meghann.
No, and I should have immediately gone, is she okay?
Yeah, no.
But instead, that's what this podcast has done to me. It's taken out all of my empathy, and now I'm like, oh, I can debunk that.
No, you can't. Anyways, she was like, okay, I definitely got pushed. So she called her mom.
Okay.
And her mom's real spiritual too. And her mom's like, "Are you okay? Did something happen? I feel like something happened." And she's like, "Something did happen.
Ooh.
I got pushed off a ladder." And she was like, "Okay, I knew something attacked you. I could feel it." Right? Well, so then she's like in the house, looking in the house, and there's still a picture of this couple. And they're two men, and she doesn't know which one was the artist.
Okay.
But she's looking at the picture, and she's so sweet. She's like, "Hello, I'm Betty."
I can just hear, because we're such a shame, I can't hear her saying I'm Betty.
Right. It would be weird.
Really odd for her to also know what we're going to call her in the future.
Right.
But I can hear her saying, like, in her very country, very Southern accent.
Right. Yeah. So she's like, I'm going to be living here soon, and I don't want to push you all out. I'm not trying to change a lot. I'm trying to respect your house, but I'm going to be living here. Really sweet. Well, she was like, the whole time I was looking at this picture, one of them was like, she said it just felt like all that negative energy was coming from this one man. She's like, I don't know which one's which,
right?
But I could feel it really hard. Well, she talks to her mom, and her mom's like, "It's the artist. The artist does not want you to live there."
Oh.
So she confirms with a friend who knows the couple, and the one who she was like, this guy, it almost felt like he was staring her down through the picture.
Ooh.
She's like, that was the artist.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
It is. So he was just a dick.
Well,
in life.
Oh no, you're going to feel bad after I say this.
Oh, well then cut that. Really make me sound.
He had, towards the end of his life, Alzheimer's and dementia.
Oh.
So she thinks that maybe he thought she was like breaking in.
Oh.
So he's like, no, you're not coming in here.
Oh, how sad is that?
I know. And you just said, you called him a dick.
Yeah. Well, that was, you should have like started with that. You should have led with that.
I was getting there. Yeah. So anyways, she said, I'll let you know if anything else happens in this house once I move in.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So debunk it.
Oh, I think that I need to know if she's outside or inside.
Okay.
For the latter. I really wish she would have listened to that.
I think she was outside.
Outside. Well, then that's easier to debunk. Like, you've got a lot of elements around you. You've got wind. You've got, like, what if all of a sudden a big gust of wind came? She kind of goes back a little bit. It felt like something pushed her.
Wind doesn't feel like hands on your shoulders.
Yeah, but it can kind of catch you off guard.
Okay.
Her footing could have just kind of slipped, and then when she went to fall.
From her shoulders, not her footing.
Yeah, but maybe it happened so fast that it didn't really register what exactly happened.
Mm-hmm.
And she already thought she was tripped because she's a very, by omission, the very sensitive person.
Yeah.
That perhaps that thought process is like, this feels like someone's doing this to me, rather than it's just something that's happening.
Okay.
So I would say that I think that it is that, or it could have been, I mean, who knows, like an earthquake underneath that ladder outside.
Yeah, or a pissed off artist.
I don't know. Maybe just the energy of the house. Here's what I'm going to say. If I were like a through and through believer, like I know Betty is.
Yeah.
And I got pushed and tripped in a house, I think I'd be asking about that closing date and when we could maybe rethink it. You know, like as a non-believer, as like a skeptic, it wouldn't bother me. Like those two things, I'd be like, whatever. Something like I would be able to explain that away to myself and go on and live life just fine in the house. But if I'm a believer and anything happened, typically I'm going to blame it on a spirit because I'm a believer in spirits. So therefore, that would freak me out. I would live on edge every time something happened.
Yeah.
Every time like a glass got knocked over by accident, I'd be like, oh my gosh, there was a spirit that lived here and this is what's happening. And it would cause me.
I've never had a glass just knock over on accident when nothing's around it.
I'm just saying when things happen, and if you're a believer, then I think that would be terrifying to me. Yeah. To always be in constant fear of like someone else being there.
Right.
Makes me so glad I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, that's why you don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, well, I don't because it just makes more sense for it to be a gust of wind or a really quick, like, you know, when you're off balance, I'll be like, whoa, and like you catch yourself really quickly.
Yeah.
But it happens so fast that you're like, I think I was pushed. It felt like I was being pushed off of that ladder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Therefore, it had to have been a spirit that lived in this house. And then now I'm going to look at this very big painting or big portrait that I'm sure is a little bit scary.
I think I said it was a picture. It was just a picture of them.
Oh, okay. In my mind, see, remember how we don't listen very well? In my mind, I was picturing like this giant wall-size portrait of these two men.
Like creepy paintings.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Well, I guess it's like an artist, whatever. Was she standing in front of it? I'm thinking it's like she's looking up at them. And then the whole, man, it was really painted in my mind. You did a good job. I just didn't listen very good.
Yeah, got it.
My imagination told a better story than Betty did. I'm kidding, Betty. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of ADHD though, I had a kid-free day. My husband, his brother is in town, so they took all the kids out to Malibu Jacks. They were there for at least 3 hours.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm going to get some work done.
Right.
You know what I did instead?
What?
My voice might be a little shot because I sang the musical Rent top volume.
Wow.
I had it on in every speaker in my house.
Wow.
I was like, it'd be great. I'll put on some music because music isn't distracting. I couldn't listen to a podcast and work on this.
Yeah.
Turns out I can't listen to a musical that I know every word to because I was belting it out.
I guarantee you were.
Then I was like, well, I can't do that, but I could play some solitaire on my phone. And I was like, you know what?
I love how you're like, I'm not going to turn it off and get to work.
No.
What can I do and still listen to this?
Yeah. I haven't listened to Rent in so long. And then I was like, well, we're going to go to a ball game tonight. I'll go ahead and get ready. Then I'm just ready when they get home. Perfect. So I got ready. Then I was like, what else I'll do the dishes. I don't even like doing the dishes.
Yeah.
I never have to do the dishes.
You just wanted to hear Rent.
I just didn't want to do my work.
Oh,
that was important. So I was like, I'll figure out anything else I can do.
Your house is never cleaner until you have like paperwork to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I was real distracted.
So this week we have a story from the lovely Sarah.
Aw, hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for writing in again. And no wonder you've already been a fan favorite. You keep writing in. You're just amazing. Not to mention you're beautiful. I mean, we'll just keep it going as long as you keep writing in. So Sarah, well, she's going to remind us in the email, but the story of this is this time it wasn't Rebecca.
Okay.
And then I love it. Alternative title. Fireworks, full moon, and ghosts.
Ooh, okay.
Dun, dun. Hey, sisters, I went ghost hunting this weekend with my cousin Rebecca again. You may remember last time when we went ghost hunting at an abandoned amusement park, and Rebecca was mistaken for a full-body apparition because she fell asleep standing up around 3 a.m. This is so funny. Such a funny visual. This time we booked an overnight investigation at okay, here's a word.
Okay.
Allegheny, Allegheny.
Yeah.
I felt like I nailed it though.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Ooh, okay. There's a word.
Yeah, right. TALA for short in Weston, West Virginia.
Wow.
Definitely not a politically correct name, but as they explained on the historic tour, this was the name used when the hospital was in operation for 130 years, ending in 1940.
Wow.
And so for historical purposes, they kept the name. The property consists of several hundred acres and many buildings, but our overnight investigation was all contained inside the main building, which has 4 floors. The building was absolutely huge. Imagine Waverly Hills for similar scale.
Wow. Yeah.
We started with a daytime historical, and in parentheses, non-paranormal tour around noon so that we would be somewhat familiar with the layout of the building, which would be 90% dark during our overnight stay.
Oh my gosh, so scary.
The historic tour included all the horrors you would expect from a mental hospital that opened its doors in the 19th century, including murder, overcrowding, mistreatment of the patients, and lobotomies.
Oh, wow.
That's awful.
Rough.
The layout of each floor includes a nice central area, which includes rooms like pharmacies, doctors' offices, and nurses' quarters. These areas are mostly restored and fairly nice. Then off to the center are hallways on either side. One long hallway will extend from the center and lead to another long hallway. The tour guide said that the building is only 20 feet shy of being a quarter of a mile long. The hallways are dark, not restored, complete with crumbling floors, broken windows, rusty doors, and peeling paint. Oh. Spooky right away. There are also grotesque masks on the outside of the building, and grotesque is in quotation marks. I guess that's what they called them.
Yeah.
In the outside of the building, which are thought to ward off evil spirits.
Oh, wow.
You can buy these full-size replicas or as earrings or necklaces in gift shops.
Wow.
That's what everybody wants, are grotesque necklaces.
You're like, wow, I really like your earrings. They're grotesque.
They're so grotesque. In case you are in need of such a thing. Lisa bought the earrings and a few of it. I don't know who Lisa is.
Yeah, who's Lisa? I'm like, I thought Rebecca was who we were with.
I did too, but you're welcome, Lisa, into the story. Lisa bought the earrings and a few of us bought the necklaces. I bought mine for my daughter, who said that, I love that. Like, I love that you have a daughter who wants grotesque earrings. I bought mine for my daughter, who said that her dream catcher no longer worked. So I thought maybe this would help her get peace of mind. I would love to see these.
Yeah.
Right? Because grotesque just doesn't make it sound like that's something you'd want to wear on your body.
Right.
During the daytime historical tour, I got a heavy feeling when I passed two of the day rooms / common areas or the third floor. Then, as we walked down the hallway past some of the isolation rooms, I began to feel fearful to the point where I began to physically tremble.
And this was still during the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And believe me, I was rolling my eyes at myself. My inner monologue was saying things like, seriously, Sarah, you're an adult. There are hundreds of people in this building right now on different tours, and nothing is going to hurt you. Oh. I just couldn't shake the feeling. And I've never had this intense of a feeling by just being near a place before.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's spooky.
I'm not the kind of person who feels like every place I go is haunted. As we reached the end of the hallway and turned around, our friend Tasha, who traveled from Louisville as well, looked at us and said, something was definitely in that room. I had mentioned the heavy feeling, but not to her, and hadn't said anything about shaking when walking past the room because I felt ridiculous. She felt something in the same exact room as well. It was daytime. Ghosts are only supposed to come out at night, damn it.
Yeah. Hello.
Right? Later that day, we arrived at the check-in for our overnight investigation. Lisa, know who Lisa is.
Lisa with the grotesque ears.
Lisa is here. Maybe that's what she calls Rebecca for short. It's strange, but who am I to judge?
Sounds like they got a little group of girls.
Yeah, they do. We're just teasing Sarah. I love this because knowing me, I probably just skipped over like a paragraph that introduced Lisa into the story. And I'm like, yeah, that would be right up my alley. Okay. Lisa wore her earrings to ward off evil spirits, and Julie wore her necklace as well. They asked me why I wasn't wearing my necklace, even though I had purchased one earlier in the day. Because I'm here to see ghosts, I replied.
Okay, I was totally going to say this. I'm like, would you want to wear that on your ghost tour?
Right. Why in the world would I ward off the one thing I came here to see?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You and Sarah think a lot alike.
That's right. Like, I'll wear it on my way home. I don't want those things following me.
Right. The investigators were separated into 4 groups of about 10 people each, and there were maybe 10 members of staff to make sure everyone was safe and helped out with any questions, including 4 guides. Oh, that was a lot of math. You tune in on directions. I'm like, oh, I can't do all that math. I think there's a lot of people separated. They're like little groups everywhere.
Groups of 10.
Lots of staff
10 people
members.
work there. 4 people going on guides.
I don't need numbers. Just a lot of here and a lot of there.
Okay.
It's fine.
A couple leading.
Couple going, couple here. So the building only had about, here we go, more math, 50 inside at all times. It sounds like a lot, but for the size of the building, it wasn't. Yeah, that is a lot, though. Yeah. 50 people in one building, but they're all, I mean, this must be a giant building.
Well, think Waverly.
Yeah, that's true. And Sarah says it right here. It sounds like a lot, but for the size of the building, it wasn't. We wouldn't be accidentally bumping into each other. Each group was allowed to spend 2 hours on each floor, then switch to the next one when our time was up. Our group consisted of 12 people, 11 investigators, and 1 guide. I swear I feel like a train's going to pass at a certain speed, and I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm like getting sweaty over here. Okay. We had signed up with a group of 7 people. The numbers just keep coming. Me, my sister, Julie, and Lisa, our cousin, Rebecca, and our friends Tracy and Brian, a married couple, and another friend, Tasha. The other 4 investigators in our group were 2 couples, and they would go in the opposite direction of our group on each floor. Our group usually investigated the hallways to the right first, and their group investigated the hallways to the left. And about an hour into our allotted time, when we moved back to the middle and switched sides, we began our investigation on the 2nd floor. And since it was July 4th weekend, we were treated to a fireworks show. Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But also kind of like, oh, weird.
Take you out of the moment a bit?
It would take you out of the moment a bit, but also we're here where everybody is there believing that there's all these spirits that have been tormented, and now let's make really loud fireworks to torment them some more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although I bet some of those past people really love fire.
That's true. Oh.
You know.
Why?
Because who doesn't love fire? I love watching it from afar.
Fireworks. Why are you saying fire?
Yeah, but fire. Fireworks. I don't know.
What?
Just trying to make it work into something.
I don't know why you just didn't say fireworks. We're not talking about fire. We're talking about fireworks.
Yeah, but never mind. Keep going.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, imagine if just saying the word fireworks kills the mood this much and we laugh about it. Imagine having a fireworks show in the middle of your investigation. It's fine.
Maybe it was at the end of their investigation.
Okay.
Still not respectful in time, but doesn't kill the mood of the ghost hunt.
Okay. Which we got to watch from the front portico. A super fun, once-in-a-lifetime experience, but everything was so loud that we weren't able to experience any paranormal activity on the floor. I would be pissed.
Yeah.
This was also the day before the full moon, which was out next to the firework display. Beautiful. Okay, so you see the full moon, you see the fireworks. That's great. But the whole time I would be thinking, a full moon? Yeah, what better night?
Perfect night.
Yeah, I'd ask for my money back, Sarah. Just saying. Well, I don't know. There's a lot more to the story. Maybe we see something.
Okay.
Next, we investigated the 3rd floor. The fireworks were over, and the crowd. Oh yeah, because it's overnight. It's all night.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, so maybe those fireworks really got them stirred up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of piss off those ghosts a little bit.
Right?
Piss me off a little bit.
I mean, right? I kind of hate them.
Living in a neighborhood, I'm like, good grief.
Yes. Well,
pick a night.
Everybody should just vote on one night. Yeah. Are we going to do it on Saturday? Or are we going to do it on 4th of July?
Yeah.
Why do we have to do it from Friday till the next Friday?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what day of the week it lands on.
It's going to happen for
it's
the whole month of July.
At least 5 days before, at least 5 days after.
Yeah.
And I'm done. I'm already over fireworks.
Yeah.
And it's not till tomorrow for us.
I know, right? We have a huge firework show happening tomorrow.
Yeah, my neighbor is the worst.
Your neighbor's husband.
Okay. He is also my neighbor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But still, let's clarify which one of the neighbors is the firework king. Okay. Everything was quiet. This was the floor with the room that had made me shake earlier in the day.
That's so scary.
Now you're back at night
during the day, and now you have to go back at night.
The creepy room, for lack of better words, was close to the very end of the building in the 2nd hallway to the right. We started investigating the 1st hallway to the right. We sat at the end of the hallway. We tried asking the spirits questions and waiting patiently for a response. Then someone said, I see something. Ooh. It's moving towards us. At that time, something flew at us at a rapid speed and nearly hit Tasha in the face.
Oh my gosh.
But she was quick enough to duck. It was a bat.
Remember when we were at Waverly and there was a bat?
Yes. That's why I was waiting for you to be like, I know, it's a bat.
I was thinking, that happened.
Yeah, but I mean, you're already in this very creepy room.
Yeah, and then a bat. No, thank you. Those guys on our tour were freaking out. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I cracked up. I had no empathy. I just thought the whole thing was very hysterical. Not supernatural, but terrifying nonetheless. There are lots of bats in the building, and if you shine your flashlight around looking for ghosts, they will dive bomb you. But yeah, they're like, get the hell out of my house.
Right?
Wanting to get away from the live animals that wanted us out of their home, 4 of us decided to investigate the second hallway and break away from the rest of the group of 7. I definitely felt there was some kind of presence there and wanted to make up for my cowardice earlier, face my fear, and of course, see a ghost. So Rebecca, Lisa, Julie, and I left the first hallway and headed to where we felt we would most likely experience something. Lisa and Julie were in the front, and Rebecca and I followed behind. I mean, I feel like you should know better than to be back there with Rebecca. Rebecca's gonna fake you out.
I heard she didn't mean to do it that last time.
I know, but I just love Rebecca. I think that's hilarious. I heard footsteps behind me and stopped, assuming that the rest of the group were tired of the bats as well and decided to join us. I even said, oh wait, here they come. But then I turned around and looked down the hallway with my flashlight, and no one was there.
Ooh.
Rebecca stopped and looked as well and said, did you hear something too? I replied, yes, that's why I'm looking back. Apparently, I become a dick when I'm scared. Sorry, Rebecca. But the point is, we both heard the footsteps. We would not have heard people on the other floors as the floors were concrete and absorbed sound. We turned back the way we were headed and quickly headed back to Julie and Lisa at the end of the building. I got the same heavy feeling as I passed the 2 day rooms in the hallway that I had felt earlier. Lisa was waiting just outside of the isolation rooms for the violent men's section of the hospital.
Ooh.
Oh, that's so creepy, though. There's a whole section just for violent men.
Yeah, that is scary.
I've got the door, she said. Go ahead in.
Oh, sure, like, sure.
No.
I'll
you go
door.
on in. Yeah,
I'll hold it.
Right. No, that's my job. You go. We were told by our guide to use the buddy system as some of the doors still locked, and we would have to contact the owner.
Oh my gosh. That's terrifying.
Or manager of the property to get out if we were accidentally locked in.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, that...
At this point, you need a key. What's a skeleton key that unlocks everything?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a place that you're paying to go on. We need some...
And then you're going to be trapped in a haunted room with like 2% light? No, not happening.
Even as a skeptic, I don't want that shit to happen.
No.
By myself, I asked, hoping someone would volunteer to go in with me. So Julie agreed to go down the narrow hallway with me next to the isolation rooms. I was very hesitant to go in, and Rebecca had agreed to stand at the door at the other end of the hallway to make sure that well, of course, Rebecca's like, dibs on that roll. At the other end of the hallway to make sure that we could make it all the way through. I took a couple steps into the isolation hallway and was waiting for Rebecca to make it to the far door from the outside. I heard Rebecca's footsteps heading toward the second door, and then there was a loud pop, which wasn't concerning at first because I assumed Rebecca had made it to the metal door and had touched it with her hand, until her face popped into the hallway, looked at us dead in the eye, and said, that wasn't me. I yelled, nope, and turned around and started hurriedly going back to the first hallway. In our confusion, we also were having difficulty finding our way back to the first hallway, as all the doorways looked pretty much identical, and it wasn't the last doorway to get back into the next hallway. Again, we're back to kind of math and directions, so I kind of lost it. That would have been logical. We were yelling, how do we get out? Oh, so there's like panic on top of panic, over and over as we ran away from the noise that was not Rebecca.
Oh, yikes.
But that wasn't the only terrifying thing that happened on the third floor. After running away from the footsteps and the loud pop, we were ambling through some of the nicer rooms in the central area. These would have been nurses' quarters. Previous investigators have seen shadow figures and nurses sit up in the beds, exasperated that someone would be disturbing their rest.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So
like they see them?
So they set up like pissed that somebody like interrupted them. These rooms have a museum-type quality and seemed fairly serene. The first 3 rooms yielded nothing. I saw Rebecca head to the 4th room and decided to follow her. She spent only a couple of seconds in that room before turning around. Any ghosts in that room, Rebecca? I asked. Nope, she responded as she walked past me to exit the room. I took 2 steps into the room and was suddenly face to face with a grotesque apparition that you certainly wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley. The features were distorted, ugly, and just a few inches from my own.
Oh my gosh.
Not only was this a visual, but a growl was erupting from this monster. It was my sister. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Sarah's going to be banned.
I know, right? Yes, it was none other than I've got the door, Lisa. Oh, Lisa's her sister. I'm so sorry. We're like, who's Lisa? Jumping out of a closet to scare the crap out of me for funsies. Gosh. I love that that's how she describes her sister. Being the mature adult that I am, I told her that I hated her and walked away as she cackled in delight. I also love being the mature adult that you are. You write in how grotesque she was. So there's a whole nother section about the fourth floor, but we're going to save that. So we're teased up to this point. Okay. We've got a big lead in for next week when we can hear about the fourth floor. So you know what I'm going to say, Sarah, as far as debunks go, it's a tour. I know, I get, it's kind of like the Waverly Hills. It's like everybody separates. You kind of get to go do your own thing. And then the guides are kind of bouncing around. There's a whole lot of math involved in that. I don't know if they were like honestly with you or they were just kind of around and about. I tuned out at a point with the math. It's not your writing. It is my brain with math. But what I'll say about that is I do think that a lot of things could happen that could make that pop sound. It could be a pipe. It could be a shift in the electrical wiring in the back. Who knows what it could be? Yeah. But this building is so big. It could be somebody on the floor below you slammed a door or above you or wherever. But the building is so big. The lights were off. Everything was really dark. Could have been another person who kind of was hiding out just to scare people who went in there. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I can't imagine having that job.
Yeah, but that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
So scary.
I know it would be. Or, I mean, just like another person on a tour. Yeah. Who like just kind of is like, oh, I'm going to mess with other people over there. It's just wide open. It's like, it's a public place. Yeah. At this point. So there's just a whole lot to be left to debunk.
Yeah. I don't know. That fact that she had such a strong, visceral feeling. And so did Lisa. Was Lisa the one who had that feeling? Oh, no.
I mean, I think they all did. Yes, it sounds like they all did. Friend. But also what I'll say about that, though, is that, you know, you're in a place where, torture happened. Literal, and like.
That holds an energy.
Yeah. Our entire history of humankind, not even our country, but of our world, right, is built on the back of trauma. So it's like when you go to a place where you know that trauma was there, you instantly start to feel like this heaviness of like, man, imagine all of the things that happened. Yeah. And then you go to a place where it's the violent men's ward. Yeah. I mean, just that it's right there in the title. Right. So you're already feeling this like, ooh, very creepy vibe going in there. And, your mind is so strong. It can do so many things with those words. Yeah. So that's my debunk.
Well, we all know what I believe, but yeah, that's really scary. Mm-hmm. Thank you for writing in. And I want to go. Like, I want to hang out with Sarah. Sarah goes on all these fun ghost tours.
Sarah is local.
I know. Let's go on one.
Come on, Sarah.
You and I talked about, after Brittany talked about that camping thing.
I know. We need to get back into that.
I know.
Maybe we could do a poll and see. Well, first of all, I think we need to reach out to them. Mm-hmm. And we need to see, like, can we go for free? Would you like us to do an hour-long podcast? We will tap dance for our board. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I would love to go do that. I mean, it's not that far away. We looked it up.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
And then step 2 is take a poll to see who all could come.
Yeah, it would be really fun.
That would be cool.
Okay, so I'm going to read a story from another fan favorite.
All right.
This is Carity.
Oh, Carity.
Like parody.
Aren't you so glad I made? She
says in the parentheses.
Carity, a fan favorite?
I am. Immediately she wrote in.
I know, right? Because I was like, Carity, you're my fan favorite. She's like, oh, thank you. How about I write in a story?
Right?
Don't you love that segment, Erin?
I love it so much.
I know.
She also included her pronouns, she, her. So
nice.
So Carity wrote in from our website, which I love.
Love it.
And it says, I'm a believer, but how do you tell spirits to stay the fuck away from your kiddos?
Oh no, Carity.
Yeah. This may not be long enough, but I've never typed this out before either. Here goes. I've been a believer for a long time. Firm believer since the night before my husband and I got married in Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Okay.
We stayed in the Basin Hotel, the spooky sister to the Crescent.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what that is, but I'm now interested in both.
Yeah.
Where we'd had our rehearsal dinner earlier in the evening. After some quality time with family who had traveled in and laughing very hard over Cards Against Humanity, we closed down the bar and headed down to our rooms.
Man, that sounds like a fun rehearsal dinner.
I know, right? As we wound our way down the stairs, we heard two women screaming.
What?
It seemed to be coming from the elevator or maybe the end of the hall. And for the record, we were tipsy but not drunk. And we quickly found a staff member to tell them we thought some people needed assistance. It's probably just the drunk people from the bar, except we were the last two in the bar.
We're the drunk people.
Yeah, that's not us. Aside from the server who was by themselves. And the screams were definitely two distinct voices.
Oh, weird.
I nudged my soon-to-be husband a few times going, just admit you were pranking me. But every time I was met with a chuckle and a no. I even woke him up at 6 a.m. on our wedding day to see if he'd admit it half asleep. But it wasn't him. And we both heard it. Meghann, if you want to take a stab at debunking, go ahead.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. Why is this spirit messing with her kids?
Well, we're not there yet. There's another spot.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the end. You said it was short. I was like, okay, but
no, that's the first half. This is why she's a believer.
Oh, this is what made her a believer. This story is okay. Carity, thank you for writing in your origin story. Okay, yeah, you're in a hotel, Carity. What people can dismiss things that need to have attention brought to them very easily. It's way easier to just go, it was probably drunk people than to investigate it. I would say there were probably two people who really did need help, whether they were in the elevator or trapped in a room or something in a hotel.
Yeah.
It needed more investigation. Carity, I know that's heavy to think about, and I'm so sorry. Just focus on the good parts, like the Cards Against Humanity of your wedding night or your rehearsal night. But my debunk is that there were two actual human beings that screamed.
Maybe they were stuck in an elevator or something.
Either stuck in an elevator or trapped in a room, but maybe it wasn't as like nefarious as what I'm making it sound. Like maybe they were two drunk girls, like getting back in the hotel room and they saw a spider and they both screamed, but it could have been something as lighthearted as that. And then they stopped because they're like, oh gosh, it was just a spider. Or they thought they saw a ghost and they're like, oh, it was just the light we left on. And then whatever, they scream really loud and then that was it. So that it ends like that. Maybe it wasn't as like, oh, a bad guy had them trapped. But
yeah. It is interesting that she was so convinced that her soon-to-be husband was pranking her. How would he prank her?
Yeah.
He's with her.
He set it up.
Yeah. It's still interesting.
I wonder if he's a prankster. I mean, Cards Against Humanity, that tells me the type of people we're dealing with are pretty fun.
Right. Okay. So years later, we had our first daughter. And in one of her first nights out of our room and in her crib, in her own room, my husband distinctly heard two women talking quietly in the room with her.
So we're thinking it's the same two women.
I don't know.
Okay.
Except I was fast asleep. We've never figured that out, although I'd love to think it was her great-grandmother's stopping by to say hello.
Oh, that would be nice.
Right? The same daughter, while we were on vacation in Florida recently at a very wonderful and new Airbnb in Siesta Keys, woke up to say she saw a black figure standing by my dresser.
Ooh.
Ugh, creepy. While Meghann will not want to try to debunk the last part about the two women in the room.
I will. I totally got one.
Okay, I have an honest question. I'm a believer, but how do I approach this with my kids? And what if, to Meghann's chagrin, there have been spirits around her?
She said my chagrin.
Yeah.
I love that word.
Do you know what it means?
To my credit?
No, it means like to your embarrassment.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you're taking this really well.
opposite of my character. That's the story of my life right there. Just going thinking like, oh yeah. Like, and I always go with what's going to favor me.
Yeah, you didn't listen to the rest of that because it wasn't like in your favor.
But the word, I love the word. When I hear a word, like sometimes you ever just hear a word, you're like, ooh, I have to learn that word so I can use that.
Yeah.
Chagrin.
I did have to look it up because that word is in books all the time.
Yeah, will you spell it for me?
Chagrin.
Wow, I definitely want to.
Chagrin.
Chagrin.
Looks like chagrin, but it's chagrin.
I love it.
I think. Oh Lord, I've only ever read it.
Again, story of our life. Chagrin. No, I think I've heard that word, chagrin.
Yeah.
So to my embarrassment.
To Meghan's chagrin, to your embarrassment, there have been spirits around her. What if? Love the podcast and thank you for making the hours fly by while I work.
Oh, Carity, I love you so much. That's why I made you my fan favorite, and now you've delivered an amazing story.
Yes, and you're welcome for letting the time pass fast. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Carity. Now listen. Now I kind of feel bad saying, "Oh, I will debunk it," because now I realize why you said that. It was kind of sentimental. You were hoping it was your like, what would you say, great aunts,
the great grandmothers of the baby, so their grandmothers.
Okay, well. Then maybe I just won't touch that one, Carity.
No, too late. You already had a debunk.
I always do have a debunk, but I don't. But maybe
Carity can handle it. I can tell.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can tell.
All right, Carity. Okay, I'll go gently. I was thinking possibly like your baby monitor.
Baby monitors do weird things.
They really do weird things, and maybe they picked up something happening two houses down.
But so do EMF readers. So maybe it was working as one, and it's picking up the grandmothers.
Sure. Okay. So there, I'm sorry, I did not mean to scoff when I said I was going to go gently.
But you sure did.
According to Aaron, that was totally possible. So there you go, Carity. Okay. And then
the creepy figure for the 3-year-old on vacation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, my 3-year-old says the most off the wall things. I mean, like, I'm like, where are you getting this stuff from? So that's just my debunk. It's a 3-year-old kind of being a 3-year-old saying things. I mean, I don't know, but also we kind of toy around with the Hat Man. Like, are we talking like this figure had a hat on its head and it's like alien-esque?
Yeah.
If you have not heard, if you're a new listener and you have not heard us talk about the Hat Man, there is an entire like theory out there that the Hat Man is actually like a foreign, like a UFO.
Alien-esque. Is that the word you're trying to get?
Well, like they're brought down by UFOs. Like they're here. They're visitors here from a different planet. Now, I believe definitely in aliens.
Yeah.
Do I believe that they're like creeping into our bedrooms and standing in top hats? That's like a real big leap. I don't know why people have gone there, but they have.
Yeah.
But maybe it was like a alien Hat Man type experience. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe it was just a 3-year-olds. And like, I can only say this because I have one. They're just the weirdest little creatures I've ever met in my entire life. Say the weirdest shit ever. So I just don't trust them as far as I can throw them. And I can throw mine pretty far, but I don't. I wouldn't. But I'm just saying, I just don't trust her. My own. Yours, I'm sure, is very level-headed.
But we don't know how old Carity's daughter is. She just said this daughter.
My 3-year-old daughter.
I know, but I'm saying, how old is Carity's daughter when she's saying there's a creepy figure by the
I thought you specifically said 3-year-old daughter.
No, I never said that. I said,
well, that's why I went with my 3-year-old daughter.
You just plug that in. You're on main character.
Sure
in your life.
Said 3-year-old daughter.
I am certain.
You know what?
I didn't.
You know what?
What?
I'm going to go back and listen to this, and I'll tell you who's right.
Okay, years later, we had our first daughter, blah, 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 blah. The same daughter while on our vacation in Florida recently.
No, I know, but when you just said, you were just retelling the story to me a little bit. I'm pretty sure you said
I'm so tired, daughter. Meghann. I have no idea. It's 1 a.m. I may have.
Okay, well, in my mind, she was 3.
That's because you've got main character energy real hard. You just plugged yourself in there, and you've got a 3-year-old daughter.
Listening to this bullshit.
So
Carity, she's just ready for me to be done. She's ready for me to wrap up my debunks. I'm not. I'm just getting started. I'm kidding. carroty. I'm sure it was all real.
Okay, perfect. Love it. You hear it here, folks.
Had to wrap it up for you real quick. It's fine.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Let's hear your fan favorite this time. Yeah, maybe they'll write in a story.
I'm just going to drag it out a little bit.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so this week I picked, yes, one of my near and dear friends in real life, but I picked her because she really supports us in our TikTok world. So you know how I've been doing Instagram for a while. So then I thought, well, I'll pop over to TikTok. But girl, I don't get TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't understand how to see like who's supporting us on there or whatever. But I do know that she does because I noticed that she shares several of our videos.
Okay.
Which does help us a lot.
Yeah, it does.
And she has shared a lot of videos for us to do our TikTok about.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And she's hilarious. And it's Joanna, who also...
She hasn't been a fan favorite already?
No, Joanna has not been a fan favorite. I know, I am too. So Joanna is a friend of mine in real life, but also, you know, I didn't really realize she was doing all that work on TikTok until I got on there. I was like, oh my gosh, well, here you go.
Yeah, when I think of TikTok, I think of Joanna.
Oh, well, no, Joanna sends me Joanna has made it her personal mission in life to get me to like TikTok.
Yeah.
Like when TikTok first came out, she started, I didn't even know what it was, but she started sending me all these videos. The videos were great. And she was like, don't you love it? I was like, what, the video? She's like, no, TikTok. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. But so she has wanted me to get onto TikTok for a long time. And clearly she knows how to work it.
Yes, she's got a lot of good taste, but she did also tell us to watch It Follows. And
yes.
Therefore.
And I called her out about that in front of a group of people last time I saw her at that that
dumbest movie I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh my gosh. And she goes, Meghann, you really need to go back and watch it. I was like, no, Joanna, you really need to go back and watch it. Because we laughed.
I think Joanna needs to come over and watch it with us.
Yeah, explain to us
Sometimes
the scary part.
I feel like it's funnier with us.
Oh, that's true. Like maybe we make things, we don't approach it as like
people
scary.
Who hate Little Nicky. I'm like, you should watch that movie with me.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
Because that movie is freaking hilarious. I haven't seen it in probably 15 years. I can't imagine it held up well.
No, it didn't hold up at the time. Yeah,
but I loved it in college.
Right.
And people who hated it would watch it with me, and they were like, "It was funnier with you." I'm like, I know, because I laugh when you're supposed to laugh.
Yeah, you got the joke. Well, when Aaron's time was, she recommended, if you didn't hear that, It Follows, which is this
the dumbest movie.
Insane movie.
People do love it though. She's not alone.
I know she's definitely not alone. She said in that, like last time I talked about it, that it was the really tall guy.
Yeah.
That really creeped her out. I'm like, I mean, it was kind of scary. But here's the thing is that my like expectation of Joanna's taste is really high. And when she gave us that recommendation, I was like, oh girl, we got to watch this. She said it was one of the scariest movies she's ever seen. And Joanna loves scary movies and she's good at picking them.
Yeah. But turns out
we laughed our asses off.
It was the weirdest movie I've ever watched in my whole life.
Just a bunch of naked people walking around.
Walking so slow.
So slow. Like just kill them. Why are we so scared?
Knock them over.
I mean, it is a little weird. They're not ashamed of how naked they are.
So naked.
They're very, I mean, not that you should be ashamed of being naked, but you know, you're like out walking around in public. Maybe you should be.
It's so weird.
If you like really, really tall naked people, that's like your thing. Check that movie out.
Yeah.
You won't think it's scary either, but you might get excited if that's your thing.
Yeah, we're not kink shaming.
No,
but
I'm
who's
not.
Watching that movie for kink? I don't know if there's a lot of people.
Who's watching it to be scary? Not us.
We just don't recommend it.
I just don't understand it. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, people must watch it because they like to see naked people.
Yeah.
Really, really tall naked people. I just...
Also, that's why we're not on YouTube or naked.
Yeah. Because we're not
so
tall.
Short.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. Okay. All right. So I told her I was going to make her fan favorite. She said, oh, wow. I feel so honored. Thank you, Meghann. Let me think on it tonight. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, comes back the next day. Apologizes for taking so long. I don't care, Joanna. You're fine. Anytime. And then she says, any chance you could mix my new start at real estate along with Miracle Dancers? So, listen, isn't this
twofer?
Isn't this a friend?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I know you.
I actually have two.
Yeah. It's great. Thank you. I'd like to plug two things. Remember that really great recommendation I gave you? It was worth 2 plugs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or -2. Don't even mention them. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Because I love her.
Kidding, Joanna. We do love you. So here they are. The Miracle Dancers at Diane Moore's Dance Academy as a wonderful charity to donate towards. Okay. So that's where I'm going to send my daughter in the fall to go take ballet. So if you would like to donate to my daughter's future dance place, then it is, again, Miracle Dancers at Diane Moore. But also, this is amazing. The Miracle Dancers help those with special needs fund their ability to dance, which is so cool.
That's really cool.
It is really cool. So I've always watched Joanna put on these performances, and she does a lot of choreography for Diane Moore. And I've noticed that they have dancers with full ability, but then they also have dancers with limited ability.
Okay.
And they definitely incorporate them into the dance so eloquently and beautifully. And it's just wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
I know. I love that. So absolutely, we will definitely donate there. And then just a shout out, I'm just so proud of Joanna because she has just passed her real estate license.
Oh.
So she's going to be a new realtor. Yes. How many beers are we in?
So if you're looking to buy or sell a house.
Yes, then hit me up and I'll put you in contact with Jo. And her little tagline is, Jo knows real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And yes. And Jo, listen.
And then in fine print, but not scary movies.
yeah, absolutely there. But Joanna really does have great taste. Like her house that she lives in now is gorgeous and awesome. So there you go, Joanna.
Okay. Awesome. Amazing.
Sorry, I'm very cognizant.
Yeah.
I'm very aware.
Just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta wrap this up. So Jo, I think that you're amazing. You're wonderful. I love the house that you live in. It is beautiful. And so clearly you have wonderful taste. You picked me to be a friend. Now,
yes.
Again, not in scary movies, but as friends go and as real estate goes and dance companies, you have the best taste ever.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Joanna, for being our fan favorite. Thank you to Carity and to Sarah for writing your stories in this week.
Yes, they were great.
Yeah. If you all would like to check out our website, you can go to myskepticalsister.com where you can find out how to become a Patreon. You can find out about merch. You can find out how to contact us. You can write your stories in directly there, or you can find out our P.O. box. You can also write in directly at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. You can rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can rate us on Spotify. And you can tell your friends and family about us. You can also follow our social medias on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And we will talk to you guys next week.
Ratri Swat.
La 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 la.
But in the meantime, nope. Betty. Whoopsie daisy.
Sorry, that burp was so good. And then I tried to just keep going, but I was like, that's a good one. That was a good, well-rounded. Hey, Rue, this is, we've had some beer at the ballpark.
And it's 12:14.
And it's 12:14. I'm so sorry. I'm usually not this judgy.
That's a lie. That's a full-on lie.
Okay,
so judgy.
I'm usually not this judgy on your weeks when I know you're.
That's it right there.
Okay, hold on.
I'm wearing shorts and I'm stuck to your chairs.
You lifted your butt cheek. I thought you were going to let one rip. I was like, wow.
I'm just so stuck to your chairs.
I'm really getting comfortable with the pool here. Do you need a towel to lay down?
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Not in a gross way, just like so you will.
No, it's fine. Manage.
Okay, sorry. In a Salem silent.
You said it with such conviction that last time you looked me dead in the eyes.
Because I thought I was really going to land it. But I didn't at all.
You really didn't at all.
I can't even think of how you say it. We were told by our gourd.
By our gourd?
By our gourd.
It's VeggieTales all of a sudden.
It's really weird that they had a gourd and everybody else got a guide. Nope, she responded as she walked past me. Oh, that would be really cool. She's like, as she walked through me. Like all of a sudden Rebecca was a ghost. Sorry. Sometimes my imagination takes over too. Okay. I'll tell you what, that was my elbow, it was my elbow, not a fart. Okay.
It didn't pick up, so you just called yourself out for no reason.
Oh.
I'm ending this. Good night.